In the headlines, the Senate gives its nod on the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law before going on recess. It's back to school for more than 27 million students for the academic year 2018 to 2019 on June 4, according to DepEd. The government looks into the implementation of suggested retail prices for agricultural products as part of measures to cushion the impact of rising oil prices on basic commodities. And the PNP warns the public about the spread of a chain message claiming ISIS is spreading HIV/AIDS. Good day. I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Bangsamoro Basic Law is on its way to being ratified, with the Senate unanimously voting to approve it on its final reading. More on this from Benj Bondo.
The Senate unanimously approved on third and final reading early Thursday morning its version of the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law following marathon deliberations prior to the closing of the second regular session of the 17th Congress. The chamber approved Senate Bill 1717, or the Act providing for the Basic Law on the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, with 21 affirmative votes and no negative votes. The House of Representatives had earlier approved its own version of the BBL Wednesday afternoon with a vote of 227 to 11 with 2 abstentions. Once enacted, the BBL would serve as the enabling law of the 2014 landmark peace deal between the government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. The proposed act would establish a new autonomous political entity known as the Autonomous Region of the Bangsamoro that would replace the current autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao. After approval on third and final reading, the bill would go through bicameral conference committee meetings to reconcile the conflicting provisions of the two chambers. Finally, the final version of the bill would be ratified in plenary by both chambers before being sent to the office of the President for President Duterte's signature. Senate President Vicente Soto III immediately appointed Senate Majority Leader Juan Miguel Zubiri, who sponsored the BBL in the chamber, to head the Senate panel at the Bicameral Conference Committee. The committee aims to ratify the final version of the BBL on July 23, the first session day of the third regular session of Congress, and the same day when President Duterte will deliver his third State of the Nation address. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
The fight is not yet over for ousted Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno as she seeks the reversal of the Supreme Court's decision granting the quo warranto that nullified her appointment. In a 205-page motion for reconsideration, Sereno says the 6 magistrates in the majority should not have joined in deliberating the case for showing bias against her. Associate Justices Teresita Leonardo de Castro, Diosdado Peralta, Francis Hardelesa, Noel Tiham, Lucas Bersadmin, and Samuel Martires testified against her during the House hearing on the impeachment complaint filed by lawyer Larry Gadon. Sereno argues that the nullification of her appointment through the quo warranto petition is null and void, as it was rendered in violation of her right to due process. She says the measures which solely aim to remove her from office by any means can lead only to the destruction of judicial independence and the separation of powers. The SC granted the quo warranto petition to oust Sereno on the basis of a supposedly invalid appointment in 2012 brought by her failure to submit her Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth, or SALN. Over 27 million students are expected to troop to schools come back to school as classes start next month. Based on data from the Department of Education, the estimate includes students in kindergarten, elementary, high school, and senior high school. The biggest number comes from grades 1 to 6 at 12 million, followed by those in grades 7 to 10. About 1.4 million enrollees will enter senior high school. Meanwhile, 14.9% of enrollees this year, or about 4 million, will enter public high schools. Based on the academic calendar released by DepEd, school year 2018 to 2019 begins on June 4 and ends on April 5, 2019. A total of 1,724 new lawyers are set to take their oath on Friday at the Philippine International Convention Center, or PICC, in Pasay City. Associate Justice Lucas Bersamin, chairperson of the 2017 SC Committee on Bar Exams, reminds bar passers and guests to behave properly during the oath-taking ceremony on June 1st at 2:30 p.m. Those who would not behave will be charged with direct contempt of court and punished accordingly. The 2017 exams has a passing rate of 25.5% of the total examinees. The number of examinees for 2017 was the highest so far, but the percentage of passers this year is lower compared to the last 2 years. Mark John Simondo, an alumnus of the University of St. La Salle in Bacolod, topped the 2017 bar examinations with a high score of 91.05%. The bar examinations are given annually in the course of 1 month, spread over 4 Sundays at a designated venue under the supervision of the Supreme Court. It is regarded as the most prestigious professional licensure exam in the country. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources is looking into the possibility of arson as the cause of the fire that hit the Land Management Bureau in Binondo, Manila on Monday. DENR Secretary Roy Cimatu has ordered officials to cooperate with the National Bureau of Investigation and the Manila Fire Department and see if the fire was deliberate. Cimatu says the fire took out even the backup files of land titles from the DENR's regional offices. The fire that lasted 22 hours gutted the LMB building and other nearby establishments, including the National Archives office. Meanwhile, the LMB staff who worked in Binondo have set up a temporary help desk at the DENR main office in Quezon City. The LMB is set to transfer its other offices to the DENR building. Still to come, the government looks into the implementation of suggested retail prices for agricultural products. The Department of Agriculture operates its first solar-powered irrigation system. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
This is Secretary Martin Andanon, and you're watching. Ito po ang kauna-unang Surigao International Dragon Boat Summer Festival gaganapin dito mismo sa Surigao City sa kabaan ng bay na ito, tabi lang mismo ng Boulevard. Meron pong 22 national teams at meron pong 4 na international teams na lalahok dito. Kasama dyan ang China, Canada, Hong Kong at Malaysia.
This is truly an exciting moment for us to become the first city in Mindanao to host this sporting event. First International Dragon Boat Race. And for that, I thank you all for making this momentous event possible.
Sana silang lahat manalo, pero iisa lang po ang tatanghaling kampyon sa kompetisyon na ito. Kaya good luck po sa inyo lahat.
The Department of Trade and Agriculture are seriously looking into the feasibility of putting suggested retail prices on major agricultural products. Agriculture Undersecretary Ariel Cayanan said the move to put SRPs on agricultural products is a joint initiative of Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez and Agriculture Secretary Emmanuel Piñol. Should the plan be adopted, SRPs will reportedly be put on certain agricultural products for a duration of about 3 months. In the meantime, Lopez said his department is intensifying its monitoring activities in the market to cover 600 stores, up from the previous 400 in its market monitoring. The trade chief noted that based on the market monitoring, those establishments that the monitoring teams visited were 100% price compliant. He, however, clarified that DTI only covers basic goods in its market monitoring, while agricultural goods are covered by the DA. Lopez added that the department may also seek to implement the SRP system among retailers outside supermarkets and groceries. Government and private entities are teaming up to promote and teach financial literacy to schools. Education Secretary Leonor Briones led the launch of the Financial Literacy Program for schools in Mandaluyong City. The project is a partnership of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Department of Education, and BDO Foundation. During her keynote address, Briones reiterated the importance of financial literacy and finding solutions to life's challenges. DepEd had partnered with BSP and BDOF to further advance the development of financial education initiatives. The Memorandum of Agreement was signed by Briones together with BSP Governor Nestor Espinilla Jr. and BDOF President Mario Deriquito. The partnership includes the distribution of learning materials on saving and managing expenses for the training of teachers and non-teaching personnel and for classroom instruction. The agencies believe that institutionalizing financial literacy in the curriculum is a crucial step towards a financially learned citizenry who shall better contribute to nation building in the future. The Department of Agriculture has launched the first ever solar-powered irrigation system in Barangay Maubuan, Matalim, North Cotabato. The system, built by RJ Foundry of Bacolod City, cost about 6.4 million pesos and can provide water to 40 hectares of farmland. The solar-powered irrigation system draws water from nearby streams using a 15-horsepower Lorentz surface pump. The project was inaugurated by President Rodrigo Duterte in March last year and was completed in 60 days. About 116 more units are being installed in other parts of the country. Manubuan SPIS President Tranquilino Pulanco says the system can help farmers plant seeds twice a year. Help continues to pour into Marawi City as local officials launched a health station that will attend to the growing medical needs of residents. More on this from Donna Magsino.
A health station for Marawi internally displaced persons was launched in the Biyaya ng Pagbabago Transitional Site in Barangay Sagunsongan. Marawi City Mayor Mahul Gandamra was present during the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Representatives of the Department of Health, Marawi City Health Office, Barangay Local Government Unit, and other non-government organizations also signed a pledge of commitment. The health facility has been constructed in Area 2 through the funding of the Marawi LGU. Manpower and logistics for its operations is being made possible through the collaboration of Marawi City Health Office, DOH, and local and international NGOs. A doctor, a nurse, and 2 midwives will be assigned here to provide services to the patients. This health station is now open to the public every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The City Health Office plans to make its operation hours 24/7 in the coming months through the help of its partners. Another health facility is set to rise in Area 4 of the said transitional site through the donation of a medical foundation. Its construction is expected to start this June. For PNA Newsroom, Donna Magsino, Philippine Information Agency.
A mayor accidentally shot himself just days after surviving an ambush. Daan Bantayan Cebu Mayor Vicente Loot was brought to the Daan Bantayan District Hospital Wednesday night because of a gunshot wound on his thigh. Cebu police say Loot was riding an SUV in Barangay Lana while on the way to the wake when the mayor's gun accidentally fired. Last May 13, Loot and his family survived an ambush by an unidentified gunman at the New Maya port. Loot is one of the police generals tagged by President Duterte for his alleged involvement in illegal drugs. Up next, the PNP warns the public about the spread of a chain message claiming ISIS is spreading HIV/AIDS. A documentary honors the unsung heroes during the Marawi siege. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns.
po, no? Pabor ako na maging federal government tayo dahil sa ngayon, actually, amateur federal government na tong system natin, yung local government system natin under RA 7160, kunting balanse na lang, yun na talaga ang sistema ng federal form of government. And I believe na kung i-liberalize natin itong mga local government units, ay matuto silang magsikap at maumunlad na ng sarili nila.
For federalism, although I need to know more about it, things that struck me when there was a Federalism 101 talk here in the city is, number one, most first world countries are having a federalism form of government, and number two, this is, I think, one of the prime opportunities wherein we can maximize our resources and we can feel the development to the grassroots level.
Pabor ako sa federalism form of government na sinusulong ng ating Presidente Duterte para ma-decentralize, para munlad naman ang ating mga regions dito sa bansa.
Well, federalism as a system is not really bad after all. The problem is, how should we do that in the Philippines? It is because primarily, federalism is being used to unite scattered countries, like the United States. They are scattered states, but they use federalism to unite, in order to have strength. But now in the Philippines, we are already one nation, one state. Now if we embrace federalism, then the effect of federalism is reversed in the Philippines. It is because we have to scatter first, create a state, then reunite again. It would be hard for us to determine what kind of federalism we will have in the Philippines.
Generally, payag po ako sa federalism kasi ang federalism po ay angkop sa topography ng ating Pilipinas, which is an archipelago, at based on political studies, federalism po talaga yung angkop na form of government sa Pilipinas. Pero sa ngayon, I think before mag-transition sa federalism, kailangan po muna siguraduhin ng government na ready na yung local government units natin in every region to transform into federal form of government.
A new community-based reformation center is now open to help female drug offenders in Camarin, Caloocan City. The 30-bed capacity Balay Silangan Center will cater exclusively to females from Caloocan and nearby areas in Metro Manila. PDEA Director General Aaron Aquino says the center is the agency's pilot project in Metro Manila. Females will receive livelihood, personality, and social norms training to help them adjust to their new lives. Aquino says Balay Silangan can help clear drugs from the 26,000 barangays all over the country. The Philippine National Police, or PNP, urges the public not to believe reports of a terrorist plan to spread HIV/AIDS. A chain message being passed around in social media indicated that members of ISIS disguised as medicine students will visit homes and offer free blood sugar testing. The needles allegedly used are infected with HIV virus. The message also claims to have come from intelligence information from the president. PNP spokesperson John Bulalakaw says the message is poorly scripted and only aims to sow fear in the public. He asks netizens who may receive the message not to spread it to others. Ceres Negros scores the largest win of the second season of the Philippine Football League. Negros scored a 6.2 rout of Stallion Laguna at the Binyan Football Stadium on Wednesday night. Patrick Rachel drew first blood while OJ Portiera added another goal for Negros as the team quickly went 2-0 up in just 10 minutes. Mike Ott reopened the floodgates in the second half for Negros with a 53rd minute header. A defensive lapse then led to Laguna giving up a goal in the 58th minute. Kevin Ingreso struck one for Negros in the 64th minute, while Portiera capped the scoring for the club with a 71st minute strike. Abusi prevented the shutout for Laguna as he headed in a 73rd minute goal, while Fitch Arboleda made one more in the 77th for the final count. Negros scored its third straight win to move up to 24 points. Laguna remains stuck at 9 points, opening a possibility for Marikina, which will face Negros on Saturday to move up to 4th place. A documentary on the Marawi siege pays tribute to some of the unsung heroes whose bravery saved lives during the battle in the city.
As the country commemorates the first year of the Marawi City terrorist siege, International Alert Philippines, a non-governmental group advocating community development and lasting peace, came up with a documentary to honor the unsung heroes in the local battle. The video documentary tackles the story of what it calls the Suicide Squad, a group of about 30 individuals who risked their lives to help save people during the Marawi siege, wearing little protection like construction helmets. International Alert Philippines says the Suicide Squad was able to save about 1,800 people during the war. The Suicide Squad, it explains, are ordinary people with only a sense of honor to protect the lives of the city's most vulnerable sectors from the unprecedented adversity. The documentary also featured Muslims who protected the lives of Christians from terrorist captivity. The International Alert Philippines documentary was aptly called Marabat, Mga Kwento ng Kagitingan ng Marawi. To Maranaos, or the people of Marawi, Marabat means sense of honor. May Kapili, the group's advocacy head, says the video highlights what the unsung heroes did during the battle and the power of the local people's responses despite differences in faith, ethnicity, and identity. She says it explores the importance of local knowledge and context-relevant responses, especially when efforts to rebuild the war-torn city started. Marabat, Kapili points out, saved lives in Marawi and can sustain collective efforts in rebuilding the city. The public may now view the documentary at the International Alert Philippines and News 5 websites. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories. The Senate gives its nod on the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law before going on recess. It's back to school for more than 27 million students for the academic year 2018 to 2019 on June 4, according to DepEd. The government looks into the implementation of suggested retail prices for agricultural products as part of measures to cushion the impact of rising oil prices on basic commodities. And the PNP warns the public about the spread of a chain message claiming ISIS is spreading HIV/AIDS. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I'm William Theo. Good day.